Yes, I did leave the States on a pretty big high last time. Yeah, it's been a busy 5 weeks. My schedule probably couldn't have been more difficult from the point of view of the Barclays Scottish Open, the British Open, the Irish Open. So 3 pretty high-profile events anyway, and add on to that the fact that I'm going in there off the back of the US Open, and just everything that goes with that, and all the media attention and attention from players and just people around me, and it's just it's been amazing, and I've enjoyed it all, and it's been quite mentally draining and sometimes physically draining, but probably mostly mental, emotional energy spent, and I certainly haven't felt like myself in the golf course ever since. But as the weeks go by, I'm starting to feel better and better. And I've just had probably one of the best days practice I've had probably in 5 weeks there today. I mean, I'm really feeling good about myself, both mentally and physically, and really starting to feel my game coming around again, and really feeling ready to go. So I'm excited about that.
Obviously, as you say, it's taken a lot out of you, but you're keen to get back to business and perform well again this week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I always joke that if I won a major, you wouldn't see me for dust. I'll be laying on a beach somewhere sipping cocktails. But it's there's a lot of golf to play this summer. It's a Ryder Cup year. I'm excited about that. I'm, got a lot of goals to achieve this year. I'm leading the race to Dubai back in Europe, and got a lot of things to play for. So, you've got to enjoy it, and then you've got to re-switch back on again. And these are 2 big weeks that I'm really excited about. I'm going to take some time off after the PGA and get ready for a really strong end of the season. So there's a lot of golf to play. I've really been trying my best on the golf course. Played 3 of the last 4 weeks. I've been trying hard. Didn't quite have it in the tank, but there's been enough good stuff there. And like I say, as the weeks have gone on, I've generally felt better and better and better. And like I say, I'm really feeling good to be here this week, and excited about the next 2 weeks.
Great. Well, let's take some questions. If you could put your hands up, we'll get the microphones passed around. Bob? How you doing?
It sounds as if maybe there's no way you could have known what you were going to have in store until you had to go through it after winning the Open. It's almost been overwhelming to some degree. And could you talk about maybe not realizing how difficult it was going to be to go through all of that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I read a great quote. I think Michael Campbell said it. He said that when you climb to the summit of Mount Everest, no one actually ever sort of tells you how to get back down again, and a lot of people die on the way back down. So it was a very interesting quote and quite a good analogy, I thought, because when you achieve a goal this big, winning a major championship was my ultimate goal as a playing the game growing up, and I mean, yeah, you know how to win, you know how to pick the trophy up and make your speech afterwards, but the stuff that the weeks to come after that, just everything that goes with it, just the media attention, just attention from people back home, just everything that's it's just been overwhelming, like you say, and response from players and people around the world just via my website and emails and text messages, and it's quite incredible, and it's a lot to deal with, no doubt about it. And definitely it's been a good learning experience the last 4 or 5 weeks to learn. Thankfully I've got a great management team behind me, plenty of great people helping me out with everything, and it's there's no doubt about it. It has been much more physically and mentally tiring than I ever thought it would be. I certainly, like I say, I have really not felt like myself on the golf course, not even close to it, and it's been frustrating from my point of view. But I think it's important that I try to give myself a bit of a break, because I mean it is a life-changing experience, and it's been busy, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I certainly don't want to give the US Open trophy back, and get back to my quieter life. I certainly enjoy everything that goes with it. Being invited to the press center at a WGC event, says something about what you've achieved and the type of player that you are now. And I certainly enjoy everything that goes with it. So it's definitely just acclimatizing and just getting used to the new lifestyle. And as soon as I get my head around all that, like I say, week by week, I feel better and better.
Doug?
I'd be curious, I'm trying to remember when the last putt was held, let's say around 6 o'clock. Do you remember what time you actually left the golf course that night?
I got done with my media requests by about 9:30 that night. And we actually kept the players' lounge kind of open for us and had some food, and had a load of friends and some people waiting for me downstairs. And it's probably 10:30 by the time I actually left the golf course. and you know, we definitely took the party into the middle of Carmel and had a good time, and it was a pretty busy couple of days in LA after that. Had a lot going on, and flew back home on the Wednesday, and had a lot going on when I got home Wednesday, Thursday, and the first 2 weeks were a real blur, and then the week after I was at JP McManus's Pro-Am down in Adair Manor for a couple of days, which was just chaos, and up to Loch Lomond, which was just chaos, and across the British Open, which was pretty busy as well. So I mean, it was the 4 weeks right after Pebble were some of the toughest weeks I've kind of gone through as a player, you know. And I certainly, there were a few champagne swings at Loch Lomond for sure. The Open, I was feeling physically better, but mentally I just wasn't the same guy on the golf course, you know. I didn't putt good. I was frustrated out there. I just didn't feel like myself at all. My first round at the British Open, I kind of had some weird emotions going on inside me, and definitely it's been difficult to deal with for sure. And like I say, as each week goes on, I'm feeling better and better. And this week, somehow getting over here this week, I don't know. I feel like it's been good. It's been good to get over here and get back to business a little bit, you know, because it's been pretty intense back home. You know. Weird emotions. The first round of the Open, I don't know, just really just kind of not as focused as I should be. I'm still very emotional about everything that was going on, I suppose. And just, I guess the enormity of it all was still kind of hitting me. And you know, it took me half a dozen holes in the first round to really try and kind of get my focus going at all. I've played a few rounds competitively since then when, you know, I really, you know, if I'm normally a 6 or 7 out of 10, you know, very focused, intense person, I've been 1 or 2 out of 10, you know, and just really not myself at all. So it's been strange. It's been good though.
Brian?
Yeah, Graeme, you played with Padraig in the Irish Open last week, and I know you want to pick his brain, sit down with him this week and talk about coming down off that mountain. He said, kind of, welcome to my world in this maelstrom that you're caught up in. What are you hoping to get out of that conversation?
I'm certainly looking for a reason why he said that. You know, it kind of interested me when he said that, because Padraig strikes me as a very calculated person. You know, he certainly is a very analytical person, and you know, really tries to make the most of every situation. So you're very interested to kind of see how he's dealt with the aftermath of what he did, you know, winning 3 majors in the space of 5 or whatever it was. I'm drawn with him Thursday and Friday, so we may have to put dinner on hold. We're seeing a little too much of each other right now, so may have to give that a miss this week. But what am I trying to? I guess I'm just trying to get some other angles on it. You know, I mean, you know, just kind of getting an insight into the things that they had going on in their life sort of afterwards, and how they dealt with it, and mistakes they feel like they've made. Did they play too much, play too little? You know, how long did it take them before they kind of, you know, felt ready to go again? Just lots of things, really. Lots of things. You know, it's just a conversation I want to have with him and a few guys, really, just to try and help me get my head around it a little bit. But yeah, these are great problems to have. I mean, I can't believe I'm sitting here complaining about having this problem. I'm not complaining. Like I say, I don't want to give the trophy back. I'm very proud of what I achieved, and you know, I just feel like I'm going through a process of readjustment right now, which you know, will take who knows how long. I mean, today felt great, and I got out there and it was a nice quiet practice round and got some really great work done, and you know, this is just a great 2 weeks that I'm looking forward to. I feel fresh and ready to play golf again, which is nice.
I guess they had like a Graeme McDowell Day at Rathmore or something. Was that in June or July? I don't know. But I just wonder what that was like. And it sounded like it was an unbelievable turnout of media and all kind of people.
Yeah, that was the Wednesday right after Pebble. I flew into one of the airports up on the north coast there, and they kind of had hundreds of local people kind of waiting at the golf club for me, and we did like a sort of official kind of Northern Irish press conference, if you like, in the golf club, which is not very big. You know, the room's probably not much bigger than this room we're in right now, and it was pretty amazing. They had a huge big grandstand out the back where we kind of did some press just out there, you know, in front of the people, and a party in the golf club and a party sort of long into the night, really. So that was kind of like my official homecoming, if you like, and it was pretty amazing. You know, like I said, the response from people has just been it has been overwhelming. It's been, you know, it was pretty cool to take the trophy back there. It's a small golf club up on the north coast of Ireland. It's probably, you know, it's the working man's golf club up there in the town, and you know, it was pretty special to bring a trophy like the US Open trophy into the golf club there, and you know they've got it on proud display right now, and you know they're very proud of my achievements, and I was excited to be able to do that for them. So it was, yeah, it's been a whirlwind 5 weeks for sure. It's been lots of cool, fun stuff going off. Yeah, it's there right now. It's there right now. So it's in their trophy case. I think they've had to up the security levels around the clubhouse in there. You know, it's. Yeah, I'm sure the insurance premium has gone up a little bit as well, but they're pretty excited about it. Yeah, there was a few. Bit of champagne, bit of Guinness. It's definitely think I've put a few pounds on the last 5 weeks. A little too much partying. It's been good though.
Larry.
Graeme, about half of the events on the PGA Tour have been won by international players so far this year. Do you have any thoughts on why that might be?
You know, I think golf's a very cyclical game from the point of view of, you know, different countries having great players, you know, on sort of each decade, and then, you know, following up with some lean periods. So I really just think that European golf's having a very purple patch right now for sure. I think we've seen it coming now for a long time with the like of, you know, your Polders, Roses, Caseys, Westwoods, Rory McIlroy. I mean, it's been, you know, Luke Donald, you know, the list kind of goes on, and you start looking at guys like Martin Kamer, I mean, Sergio for a long time. You know, we've had a lot of top players for a long time, and, you know, I think you compare the 2000s to the 90s, I mean, from the point of view of how much opportunity we get to play in the States now. You know, talking to a few of the older guys, they got very few opportunities to come out here and play golf, and nowadays with the WGC events and the exemption categories into the majors, and you know, TPC gave us a start, top 50 Bay Hill, Memorial, Wachovia. You know, we get so much opportunity to come over here and play now, so I feel like we come over here and we get more comfortable with the surroundings and the players and the people and the golf courses, and I just think we have a lot of top players right now who are playing out here a lot more often, and it's you know, it's obviously pure mathematics, but from a, you know, also getting the opportunity to be out here and be comfortable and get to know the golf courses, and you know, I think we've had a lot of good players for a long time, but we're just now starting to. It's been great to see a bit of European domination in the last 3 or 4 months. You know, it's been amazing to see how many European winners we've had out here. It's kind of crazy, but great to be part of, obviously, and you know, obviously bodes well for the Ryder Cup, and it's exciting times. You know, it's, you know, obviously when you look at how many players you guys have out here, I mean, for countries like Britain and Ireland to be competing on that kind of level in Europe, and it's pretty fun.
Well,
Your coach is on a pretty nice roll right now as well. I'm just wondering, do you ever fear having any difficulty getting back to see him? He's got so many players doing well at this.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Pete's been out here for a very, very long time, and he's, you know, talking about pure probability. I mean, he must coach about 30 or 40 players in Europe, so he's gonna win a few at some point, you'd imagine. But obviously, back-to-back major wins. I was surprised to learn that I was his first major winner ever. I mean, I found that kind of nuts, considering how many great players he's had through his books over the years. And then obviously followed it up with Louis Oosthuizen, and we were joking. He said he was going to retire if ever he won a major. We were actually joking about that in the practice round at Pebble Beach. You know, talking about winning, and he said he would retire if one of us won the US Open, and we found that quite motivating, because we love Pete to death, but we do give him a pretty hard time as well. And yeah, he's one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest coaches I ever worked with. You know, every aspect of his coaching is impressive, and like you say, he's got some players playing extremely well right now, and I'm happy to be certainly one of his top players at the minute. So, you know, I guess with the US Open still fresh on his mind, I guess I'm still getting some attention from him, so that's good. As long as I keep playing well, I guess I'll get some time.
Is there ever any difficulty, though? I mean, when a guy works with so many players, or is it just all simple?
It would be really for a normal coach, probably to coach that many players, but Pete tends to be on the range from about 5 a.m. to dawn to dusk. That's pretty much Pete's working hours. He's out here this week and he stays until next Friday. And there will be no one stands on the range longer than he will the next week, the next 2 weeks really. It's so you know, if you're on the range, Pete is going to be there. It's as simple as that. And if you hang out long enough, he will find some time for you. And you know, when he's bored, he'll come and find you in the golf course. You know, when he's got no more victims left in the range, he'll come and find you. He's a great guy. He just has such a passion for it, and we're very lucky to have him looking after us.
Yeah, Graeme, a couple of 59s in the States in recent weeks, none in Europe so far. Any reason for that? Just coincidence? And
I always think it's conditioning of golf courses. You know, last week in Ireland, I just don't think the greens were quite good enough for a 59, and they hid those pins away as well. They were small, very undulating, tricky greens. They weren't surfaces. I think shooting a 59 is about putting. You know, I mean, you can only hit the golf ball so well. After that, you've got to hold some putts, and I mean, I honestly think it's to do just with out here the weather's so much more consistent. They can just get the greens to a much higher standard than we're used to in Europe and Asia and all these places. So I think that's the number one reason for it myself.
what he was suggesting that, you know, guys are now just going hell for leather from the start as well. There's no hanging back anymore. Patience has gone from golf. It's grip and rip it. Do you see that?
For sure. I mean, I've thought that for a very long time. I mean, Kenny, my caddy, he's been out here for 18 years, and he certainly feels like the game has changed since the years he's been out here. You know, it's not about laying the ball up to a nice 100 yards anymore. I mean, guys just go for absolutely everything. You can't really tuck pins away nowadays for guys because they just, you know, take the measures out of the equation when the greens, you know, like a pebble type setup, or, you know, US Opens in the past where the greens are mega firm and you've got deep rough around them. I mean, the greens out there this morning are very receptive. You just can't tuck pins away nowadays. Guys just go with everything, and they're so much longer off the tee, and there's so much more aggressive game plans. The modern day golfer, you know, like I say, outside of the majors, there's not much game plan involved. It's just hit it as far as you can, go find it, and then just aim at the flag, try and hold the thing, you know. So it's definitely the game has changed. You know, level par doesn't win too often anymore. Boils down to you know, you've got to putt really well for a 59. So the greens want to be very, very pure and true. But this golf course is pretty tricky. I mean, I don't know. I mean, putting surfaces are. I love coming to this place. The putting surfaces are about as good as you get. Really, it's great preparation for next week. And you know, I'd like to try and get into contention here this weekend. I haven't really ever did very well around here.
Only in Tiger shot 61 here.
Really? Yeah, I mean, 59. I mean, it's just a magic number, and it's great to see Stuart doing it there on Sunday to win by 1. I mean, that's just an incredible way to win a golf tournament. It is. It's a pretty special number. I'll tell you what, there's not much rough here this year. There's probably as little rough as I've seen here at Firestone. So from my point of view, the greens are receptive right now. Will they firm up as the week goes on? I think there's a bit of rain forecast the next couple of days. And like I say, I mean,
You put more stock in the smoothness of the green than the length of the course, it sounds like.
I do. I mean, there's no doubt golf courses are getting longer and longer. And when they can't put any more length anymore, they generally just turn these par 5s into par 4s and lower the par. But, you know, like I say, I think you can only hit the golf ball so well. There's only so many par 5s you can hit into. You got to start holding some putts at some point to shoot 59. You can't stiff it all day.
Is 59 still a magic number at all?
I think so, no doubt. I mean, obviously Rio did 58 in Japan, didn't he? Some kid in Alabama did 58 in some event there a couple of weeks ago, did he? 57. That's pretty.
Louis did 57 on his home course.
Louis, you saying? Yeah, I did 59 on my home course a couple of weeks ago. I think 59 is the magic number, no doubt. I mean, you know, anything sub 60 is just outrageous, and especially on a championship setup.
You did 59 on your home course.
Yeah, it's a par 70, so it's still a real 59. I'm claiming it. 59's 59. It's I was sweating coming down the stretch. Let's put it that way. The last was a par 3 at my home course. I hit it about 12 feet and lipped it out.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm a chopper. But it's definitely the magic number. Royal Portrush. It's the Valley. The Valley links at Royal Portrush Golf Clubs. 36 holes up there. That's the small course. It's fun though.
Okay. Well, do we have any more questions?
That's since the US Open?
What's that?
That's since the
Yeah, that was the Sunday before the Irish Open. You know, I was going in there feeling all frisky. I just done 59, and I obviously used all my putts up that day because I didn't hold a thing last weekend.
No weird emotions during that 59?
Just a little bit. No. Just, you know, I'm playing golf with my dad and my brothers. There's certainly no weird emotions going on. It's just like I say. When I say weird emotions, I'm talking about my focus levels. I've just not been as focused as I'd like to be. Not as focused as I'm used to being. So I'm hoping I'm on my way back. Like I say, that was a good session this morning. Enjoyed it.
Okay. Oh, take one last question here.
What surprises you more, the fact that Louis won the Open Championship, or the fact that we hadn't really heard much from him before, hadn't done much before?
The first one doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, Louis Oosthuizen, we've known for a long time. Pete coaches him. Obviously, Pete's talked him up for many years. The thing that surprises me most about Louis is that he hasn't played to a more consistent level over the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, he's won a couple of times in South Africa and stuff, but he really hasn't proved it on a bigger stage. But I mean, he certainly proved himself at St Andrews, and he obviously hasn't played enough here out in the States to be as well known as he would be, obviously back in Europe. But we've known that he's been a quality player for a very long time.
Just one more than 59s. If we get too many of them, is that bad for golf? Does it become a perception that you're making it too easy for you guys?
Yeah, it certainly takes the shine off the number, doesn't it? I mean, you know, when Duval did it there at the Bob Hope all those years ago, I mean, it was just super special. But has it been done twice in the PGA Tournament this year? Obviously, Goidos and Stewart, and then Rio in '58. And yeah, it is starting to appear more and more often now. I hope not. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to have that problem. If someone does it this week, then maybe we're starting to get a bit of a pattern emerging. I think maybe guys are not so scared of it anymore, you know. I mean, I think there's no doubt. I mean, longer, better. The clubs, you know, these drivers are just so good nowadays. And I think when you get a golf course that's soft with no wind, I don't think length's really much of an issue. I think guys, unless you start making golf courses 8,000 yards, I think when you get receptive greens, but it seemed to be last week at the Greenbrier they were at last week, greens look mega receptive, and that's an invitation for guys just to aim at every pin. And
It said that when people saw that he did it, they figured anyone could do it.
he would say that, though. That's a Goidos line if I ever heard one.